What's going on, Burleson, Texas? Welcome to episode 109, season 7 of Talking Throws podcast, Texas Style. I'm Coach Jason.
And I'm Coach Janelle.
And we are throws coaches with the track club, The Throwing Factory. You can go to the website, thethrowingfactory.com, to check out our bios. If you're looking for lessons online, in person, or joining a team, we have a lot of options and availability for you. If you're in the east part of DFW, we have East at the Throwing Factory, led by Coach Jarvis. If you're out in the greater West Texas area, we have a location in Abilene ran by Morgan Knight, and that is Knight Power and Performance. Also on that website, if you're looking for really cool apparel, go buy some. We have some new stuff posted on there, some discounts, so go check it out. And we even have 3X, 4X, 5X, men's and women's sizes as well. So if you're needing those plus sizes, we have you taken care of. Also on the site, you're going to find links for Fiber Sports Discus and for fourthrows.com. Our sponsors for season 7, without them, can't do what we do. Texas Track and Field Coaches Association. That website is ttfca.org, led by Mr. Stuart Cantor. Right now, he's prepping for the Winter Clinic in Waco the first weekend in January. I know National Signing Day is just passed. If you're looking to find out who signed where, that's a great website to go for the state of Texas. Also, if you're looking for indoor meets or outdoor meets, that website is also a great website to go find a meet that you're looking for. Fourthrows.com. Quality implements price right. Go to fourthrows.com. Use the code TalkingThrows10 to get 10% off. Right now, if you go to fourthrows.com and you look out for sales or closeout, you can find training balls for $20, Vixen Super Spin Discus for $65, stainless steel shot put closeouts for $80, a $25 iron shot put. You can find discus, javelin, hammer, whatever you need. That is on the website, fourthrows.com. Use that code TalkingThrows10. Ready Up Athletic Development, ran by Mr. Zach Phillips in the greater Austin area. If you're looking for programming, individually, team-wise, whatever it needs, he can build a program for you, whether it's powerlifting or weightlifting. You can go to that website. It's readyupad.com, or follow him on Instagram or on Facebook. Did do a program called Basic Throw Strength that is on the website Train Heroic. If you use the code THROWS10, you'll get 20% off. The website is Train Heroic, and the program is called Basic Throw Strength. Fiber Sports Discus, a new way to get the distance in the range, 1.6. Those are new. You can buy the Fiber Sports Discus at fourthrows.com, or if that doesn't fit your needs, you can go to the fibersportsdiscus.com website and find a dealer close to you. Also, big thanks to Big Frogs, Colleyville, to handle all our embroidering. Lifting DFW, mobile lifting station. If you're looking for personal trainings, whether it's mom or athletic performance, that's the business you need to go to, Lifting DFW. My contact information is on there. Also, to remind everybody about our YouTube channel, please go subscribe to that and check us out. Also, our new sponsor for this year for season 7 is NTX Timing. That website is ntxtiming.com, ran by Mr. Carl Hornbeck. Anything you need to set up a meet, NTX Timings will take care of all the work for you. Again, that website is ntxtiming.com. Today's guest is currently coaching throws at Trinity University while working a full-time day job. From 2010 to 2015, he threw at the University of Texas. He was a 2-time outdoor qualifier. He had PRs of 1563 in the shot, in the discus, 7530 in the hammer, 5276, and in the weight throw, 1827. While he was at University of Texas, he was also 2 times Icelandic national champion in the discus in 2011 and 2013, and then he also represented the country in the 2023 European Championships in 2011 and also in 2013. He graduated from Burleson High School in Burleson, Texas. He had a high school PR in the shot put of 58.9, In the discus, it was 83.2, and he made the state meet his junior and senior year. Please welcome to episode 109 of Talking Throws podcast, Blake Jakobsson.
Well, hello again.
How are y'all doing?
We're doing good, man. All right, so Blake, currently you're the throws coach at Trinity University, a D3 school outside of San Antonio,
Yes,
and you're
sir.
also working a full-time job, right?
Yep, that's correct.
What are you doing full-time wise?
I work for a cybersecurity company overseas. They do like identity security. So like I guess the best way to describe it would be like the 6-digit code you get on your phone or like something like that. We do that for big businesses or other businesses.
Wow.
Something like that. Yeah. So I do like technical customer success management. So I deploy our products for customers, and then I'm kind of like a post-sales person managing a book of business. So yeah, it takes up a lot of my time.
Do you get to do that from home? Is that
I do. Yeah, I've been remote since the pandemic. So
okay?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a cool gig.
It's not bad at all. I can, well, they're headquartered overseas, so it means sometimes really early meetings or sometimes late meetings, but it's I get to work from home. I can't complain. I don't have to drive into an office and spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, if I never need you to check out on Janelle,
yeah, there you go.
Not that kind of cyber.
Oh, it's
it wasn't
not.
like
All right, check out her stuff.
Spy research.
And so, as also, you're the throws coach at Trinity University. So,
Yes,
tell us how you juggle that and all the things y'all do at Trinity.
Sure. So, yeah, I guess I started Trinity 3 years ago. I was actually at another cybersecurity company at that point, both, remote. So I had the flexibility to do something after hours. So I train the Trinity athletes like right after work. So luckily Trinity's only 10-15 minutes from my house. I can pop over there real quick, leave here like right after work at 5 and get over there and train them until dark, or they head to weights. So I'm out there, depending again on like the meeting schedule in the afternoon. Like right now, as we get into the latter part of the year, lots of customers are coming on. So I have some later meetings, but try to get out there as much as I can, or have them send me video to critique.
Gotcha.
Now tell us again. Well, tell how you fell into this job.
Yeah. So I just after I guess in 2021. Yeah, it would have been like the summer of 21. I was like just thinking I would like to get back into throwing a little bit, really just do some personal training for some athletes and I can't remember the name of the app, but I got on the app to do something and I got connected with somebody there, and they led me to the Trinity coach who was looking to fill a position. And I was not trying to get a collegiate coaching job. I was just going to do some personal training, and he reached out and I was like, yeah, I'd love to try that. So really fortunate to be given the opportunity, and kind of just, it was dumb luck, to be honest.
Wow. Awesome. So do you do boys and girls?
I do. Yeah. Okay. I do boys, girls, and every throwing event this past year, the 22-23 season. We have a decathlete that helps out with the javelin. I didn't throw javelin in college. I know like fundamentally the basics, and my dad threw it when he was younger. I know a little bit, but we had a few javelin throwers last year. We got a couple now, and I wanted somebody to come on that threw it a little bit more. But I coach hammer, weight, shot, disc.
Awesome. So how do you juggle just like they come at 5 o'clock as you're working 2 or 3 rings at once, boys and girls, all they kind of once?
Oh yeah. I was just telling somebody yesterday at practice, I need somebody because Trinity's a school of very smart people. I was like, y'all need to come up with a way to clone me so that I can coach. I was coaching like 3 or 4 people at the shot, and the other like 4 or 5 were over at the disc. And so I'm just running back and forth, trying to watch people throw and then run over and try to keep it all in the head so I can critique them. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sure. Coach Whitehead's the head coach there, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay, now he's been there for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, I think most of the staff has been there for a while. I think they've got a couple of ex Trinity athletes that have been coaching for a while there. Yeah, really good coaching squad.
Do you help with recruiting and stuff as well?
I don't do any like outreach for recruiting. I have a lot of people, like a high school kids that are interested in coming to Trinity educationally and also do some throwing. So they reach out to me and see if they can try out for the team, or not really try out, just throw based on their numbers. And I just send it to Marcus, and we bring them to come on for a visit and do that. So I should probably do a little bit better of a job reaching out to kids, but I don't have the time right now. So.
Well, you could just do a cyber check.
Yeah, I could just write something and send a bunch of emails out to everybody.
I know I'm being stupid silly. So now Trinity's a kind of a high standard, right? So you're looking for that student athlete to come in that's going to have to get accepted, that has a passion for throwing as well, right?
Yeah, correct. It's I didn't know that it was so tough academically. I was talking to some of the freshmen that had come on yesterday. I think they had like a 28% acceptance rate this past year, which is fairly. I think the hardest school to get into in Texas is Rice, and I think Trinity might be number 2 from the academic standard. So, yeah, it's tough. So they gotta meet the grueling academic checklist before they can even think about throwing.
So, a kid looking to come to Trinity, does he have the opportunity to do shot, disc, hammer, weight? All of them.
All of them. Yeah, I'll teach anybody anything that they want to learn. I mean, most of the Texas kids, as you know, probably just throw shot and disc, and so a lot of hammer. A lot of people want to throw the hammer because they see it, or actually, a lot of people really want to throw the javelin because they just picture throwing the spear and they think it's really cool. So a lot of people try it and then they realize it's really hard.
Yeah.
And and a lot of them are prone to hurt themselves if they throw it incorrectly. So I try to push a lot of people down the hammer route, and a lot of people like throwing the hammer. But it's a fun one to coach when they don't have good feel for the heel toe turn. It's difficult. So
yeah.
To introduce them to that.
Yeah, lots of drills.
Do you find yourself kind of resorting back to some of your dad's cues and philosophy that he kind of helped you as a young thrower? Like you said earlier, he kind of helped you.
Yeah, very much so in the shot and the discus. He never taught me hammer, so I learned that in college. But yeah, very much so in the shot and the disc and the shot, really, in the glide. A lot of the athletes that I coach now do the spin and the shot put. So I think I have one glider. Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 gliders. So everybody wants to spin nowadays. That's the way that everyone's doing it. So I did like a couple of years of glide in college and then spun a little bit, but never very good. Yeah, I guess that's all relative. Yeah, relative to the people I was throwing with at the time.
Yeah. Now, as far as the squad goes, are you kind of looking for some more girls or boys? Or are you kind of, what are you looking for maybe in the next couple of years as far as recruitment wise?
Both, really. We had a couple of our best girls last year graduate out. So yeah, the girl that we had that won the hammer, the javelin, and got second in the disc and third in the shot, she graduated. So we're trying to fill like a lot of spots. I think we have 2 freshman girls, and they're very promising. We have a sophomore and a junior also threw really, really well last year. So I think we'll have a good squad. And on the guys' side, we had a lot more guys javelin throwers, and we had some football players come over and shot disc, but only 2 guys that threw like all season with me. Everybody else came out kind of mid-spring.
Awesome. So if a football player is wanting to do both in college or vice versa, Trinity would give them that option?
Yeah. I've had a couple of them come out, and I'll watch them throw, and I'll, if they look like, if they want to stay out there, and really if they want to put in the effort to getting the technique down, then I'll definitely coach them. But their schedule's a little bit different because they have off-season football in the spring, and then weights is pretty grueling as well for them. So to come out, that's just more work, and some of them aren't really into it. Yeah, they have to really want it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I think didn't y'all just build some new track or throwing area right across the street from the school or complex or something like that?
Yeah, that I think that happened maybe a year before I started coaching there. So yeah, It's across the street now. We have our own little area. A really nice discus ring and a shot put ring and a jab runway over there. So we're, away from everybody else on the track, but that's fine. A little bit safer that way, I think.
Yeah. Now, do you have a hammer cage? Is that
cage? It's got the, the big, I don't know the name of the cage, but the real tall one's got the hammer and the discus ring separate.
Nice.
It's a good ring. Yeah, I was very pleased to see that. I thought it would just be, discus cage with a hammer insert, but it's like its own separate hammer ring and own separate discus ring. So I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got everything you need to have a successful throws program for sure.
We do, yeah. And again, happy to take on more people. We could use more people. We have some very competitive other D3 schools that have a very deep list of throwers, and I know Trinity's looking to.
All right, man. So let's rewind back to your UT days from 2010 to 2015.
Yeah.
You get there your freshman year, man, and you make the NCAAs in the discus, or is that your sophomore? Yeah, your freshman year in the fall.
Yeah, I redshirted my true freshman year.
You did? Okay, okay.
Yeah. So my redshirt freshman year, I did make nationals. I came in and we had some good throwers, and I was small. I was really small, and another freshman came on with me, and we both needed some work. So they just said, y'all redshirt. We got a pretty deep squad, so y'all get big and strong for the next 4 years. And so we did, yeah.
So how was that transition going from Burleson, Texas to Austin, to UT, and in that type of training environment?
It was different. Yeah, I grew up training pretty hard. I threw a lot. I lifted a lot. My dad has owned gyms, a gym as long as I can remember. So the training and the throwing was, it was a lot more volume on both, but I really enjoyed it. I was fortunate to have a really, really good squad of guys, and they were all very, very competitive and very hard workers. So I got big and strong really quickly watching those guys throw up weights that I couldn't even imagine that people could lift.
So how big were you when you came in your true freshman year? How much do you weigh?
I was probably maybe like 190, 195 soaking wet.
Oh, wow.
I was small.
How tall are you?
Like 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I was skinny.
By that December of that red shirt year, your second year, quote unquote, how much weight did you gain?
I probably put on like 10 or 15 pounds. I remember, I think, maybe right around there. Sophomore year, I might have been around 220, and like junior, senior, maybe 245 to 255.
Oh, wow.
But it's always been a struggle for me to put on weight. Well, not anymore, but at that time, yeah.
You hit a certain age, and it's pretty
easy.
Wait till you turn 50. Then it's real easy.
You just have to sit here, and it just starts.
It just starts jumping on you.
Come from?
I've gained 5 pounds since we started the podcast. And you kind of grazed over a little bit of talking about the guys that you kind of came in with in your training squad. I want Ryan Krauser.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan was part of that. Hayden was already there, right?
Yeah, he was a sophomore when I came in as a freshman.
Yeah. Okay, and then who was was Robinson on his way out then? Brian Robinson?
Yeah. He was long. Not, I shouldn't say long gone, but he was out.
He was already out then.
Yeah.
Okay. Who was there on the girls' side?
When I came in, my first 2 years, the guys and the girls team were separated. So we didn't throw with them at all. So when Coach Thornton, who was there my first 2 years, when he left, we had somebody come on, and we had Coach Mario Satania took over both men and women. So we started training with them, and we had some girls come on, freshmen, that threw with us. But on the girls' side, we didn't throw with them. So we weren't ever very close. We didn't live with them or anything.
Yeah. How was that transition from Coach Thornton to Mario? Because he's kind of a big name in the track and field world and stuff, and had a lot of accomplishments. Sure. That had to be exciting for you to kind of, learn under him, right? Yeah. No, well, so I really enjoyed both of them. Mario was our throws coach for the first 2 years that I was there, so I really liked his coaching style a lot. It really pushed me as an athlete to get better. I was throwing against guys that were a lot bigger than me and stronger than me, so I needed, the type of coaching he gave me was well suited for me. So it was really good. And then we got Trey
after that, and Coach Seven, and he was great too. He had a different kind of coaching style. It was a lot more technical, and I thought I developed a lot technically with him.
Okay.
So it was really good. I really enjoyed them both, just different coaching styles.
Yeah. So who was it the idea to go from that glide your first couple of years into the rotation? Was that something you kind of came up with, or was it something they kind of instituted?
Yeah, it was kind of on my end. I mean, I didn't ever really have to throw shot much to score at conference. Like, we had guys that were doing really well, and our conference was pretty stacked, so the number was pretty high to score at conference. So I would throw for fun, and then I think one year I was playing around with the spin, and I was probably doing it in like a discus ring, so a couple of like an extra foot and a half, and I threw the shot pretty far. I caught one good, and I was like, man, maybe I should try to spin and really just think about getting that step down so I can do. And I played around with it for a little bit, but I could never stay in the ring. So I tried it for a little bit, tried it in a few meets, and then just said, I'm gonna stick with discus.
Yeah. Now you're right-handed, right, or left-handed?
Yeah, right-handed. Yep.
Yeah. So did your transition, in the discus wise, because that was kind of what your forte was a little bit in high school as well. Did that kind of transition to the 2K pretty well? And the reason I ask is, as a coach, high school kids, especially on the boys side, struggle a little bit going from that 1-6 to that 2K. They might have great, aspirations of, I want to be a college thrower. I want to do this and this. Yeah. But dude, once you handle that 2K for about 2 months every day, it lets you know that you ain't ready for it.
Yeah, that's true. I threw a lot of 2 kilo my senior year with one of my training partners in high school. My dad had a couple laying around, and I threw it a lot. And then the summer before I went to UT, I was probably in Iceland training with my cousin, so I threw a lot of 2 kilo over there. So I'd come into college throwing the 2 kilo a lot, not the 16-pound a lot. Yeah, maybe a little bit of 16 in the shot, but I didn't think I was going to be a 18-meter shot putter my freshman year. So
what was your intro to hammer like? Or did you pick it up any in high school? I know we don't throw it in Texas.
No, I didn't.
Go to college and throw the hammer.
That's how it was. Yeah, it was like, you come to UT, you're going to throw everything we need, every point we can get at conference. So I spent a lot of time drilling to get it down. It did not come natural to me. It took me a long time to get the spin down, but I got there in the end. A lot of it was try to just move fast and kind of muscle it out there. And then one day when I started really thinking about doing the technique right, I was like, oh, this is a little bit easier. And I wish I would have started that a lot earlier. I just tried to muscle everything.
Yeah. Was that a maturing process for you from the muscling and just try to blow through everything to okay, maybe I need to really focus on the technique? Yeah.
It early on, it was really hard because I was watching other people throw really far, and I was like, I got to throw as far as they can throw. So everything was really muscly, and just try to throw as far as I can and not worry about staying in the ring or the technique, just get it out there as far as I can. It took me a while to stop worrying about what everybody else was throwing and worry about myself. That was definitely a maturing thing. And that's something that I preach very early on to my athletes at Trinity.
Yeah. And walk us through that a little bit, because, you're throwing with Hayden, who's been on the show, and Hayden's 6'1", 340, that could probably bench press a house. Yeah. And then you have Ryan. And at the time, Ryan was, the national record holder in the discus, 6'7", and at that time, probably about 250, 260. But just God-given talent. You kind of, I want to say, the third wheel. Did you kind of find like, where's my place in this situation? Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but I feel like there was some people on the team that were like, how do we not? It really it motivated me to try to get as good as them. So I spent a lot more time in the weight room, worked on my weight, like my weight gain, so I could put on some weight, and then a lot of technique. And Ryan is a very good coach, knows a lot of very, very good cues. He helped me a lot in the discus, and in the shot put for that matter. So it was really great to have him around. Same for the other guys. Again, the distance thing for me was, when I saw them throwing, it was just like huge motivation to throw further and train a lot harder. Yeah. Would you say you were competitive to that, wanting to beat them? Oh yeah, I'm very competitive. Still to this day, very competitive.
Because it could have been easy to probably be like, well, we're never going to outthrow these guys, so we're just,
And,
That was never a thought in my mind. I mean, I probably would be.
and I'm
I'm
sure you
better.
see this as a coach today, and this is kind of one of my pet peeves. And I'm going to be honest right now, kind of give you a little emotional. Like I've been battling myself all week with some thoughts of our kids and our youth would rather be friends in a training group and then accept defeat among the alpha of the friends.
Sure.
And instead of going out and trying to prepare to beat the alpha or beat somebody, because acceptance and friendship is a little bit more important than competing and winning. And I don't know if that's the comfort of being in a team atmosphere, quote unquote, team squad, in an individual sport. You know what I'm saying? Our kids nowadays just think, okay, it's okay, you beat me, I'm upset, but we're going to be friends, so it's okay.
Yeah. I think early on, probably it was more so, me, I want to throw really far and I want to beat you. But I got to, I guess maybe going into my junior year, I realized we have a good throwing squad here. And I wanted to go out and get top 4 or 5 in conference in every event and go to nationals together and, get All-American or something. I was thinking more along the lines of team, but it was a maturing thing for sure.
Yeah. And that'll lead me to your sophomore year.
Yeah.
That third year in discus.
Yeah.
When did you have not your best day?
No, not. You're talking about both nationals or the second?
Yeah, your sophomore year, the fouls.
No, it was a very poor performance, and I just walked out of the front of the ring on all of them. I think I was. Wow. Yeah, they weren't far enough. I was like, I'm not marking the whatever. I don't know what I threw, but I intentionally fouled at least 2 of them, I think, for the Oregon meet.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you had a good qualifying in the regional rounds and stuff to get it there.
I had home field advantage both times to go to regionals. It's at UT and Austin or the ring that I threw it, a million times at it. So, yeah. So, and I'd been throwing pretty well. It's, unfortunate. I was just talking to my dad about this a couple of days ago in preparation for this, about how you wish you could go back. You could beat yourself up, day in and day out about wanting to go back and try it all over again.
Yeah. Were y'all throwing with the flags or against the flags in the stadium? In which ring? Do you remember?
I don't remember. We were throwing at the ring, like the ring by the well, I guess they probably both have. What side is it? Maybe the north ring?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that they typically throw out of.
Yeah, the typical, yeah. And with them building the basketball coliseum now, the wind is ever changing.
Oh yeah. I haven't been up there. I haven't been through Austin in a while. I live in San Antonio, and I try to avoid Austin for traffic reasons. Just really 35. I try to avoid 35.
Yeah. It's the wind, and since they put the basketball coliseum there, it's changed. And you got to watch the flags because it's almost like a little swirl there for sure. So yeah, for sure. So
you said earlier, you said you're talking to your dad about how you wish you could go back. And redo stuff. Here's what's cool, that you're a coach and you can share that experience
with people.
Kids. Yeah, with the kids that you're coaching, and just say, hey, this is a moment that you can't go back and change.
Yeah, exactly.
To help them grow through that. So those experiences, I think, always are for a purpose, right?
Yeah,
so you've got this opportunity to share that with the kids you get to coach. So
yeah, that's true. That's a good way to look at it. Motivation to continue to shed some experience with the younger kids, and
them, when they get mature and ready to see, you were at UT, you were throwing with some of the best, and you get to the big meet, and and it happens, and it's what could you have done different? Who knows now, but there may have been.
Would you describe yourself as kind of a big meat thrower, but how somebody get revved up for the moment? In a little bit of kind of rip it and grip it type, or were you methodical into your meet preparation?
Welcome back, track people. This is Brandon, owner of fourthrows.com. We're a fast and growing track and field company that specializes in the throws. With our speed shipping, implement warranties, and rock bottom prices on javelins, discuses, shot puts, and hammers, call us up today to talk directly to one of the owners at fourthrows.com.
I was probably a grip it and rip it type of thrower. Probably very much so that get into the meet and just get so hyped up that and I look back and I should have just been a little bit more calm. Discus is more of a finesse throw. I should have just been a little bit more calm, but I couldn't. I probably had like a Red Bull and got in the ring. It was like real amped up and ready to go. Yeah. And again, I think, I was so competitive. I wanted to win, and I should, like, looking back, going in, I guess, my sophomore year, but both times at nationals, I went in there with the mentality that I'm going to PR by like 10 meters and win the damn thing. And I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have just been like, hey, I'm going to try to, set a realistic goal of maybe second team All-American, or maybe hit close to your PR and get maybe All-American, get in the finals or something. But I was going out there and trying to do something probably unattainable at that time.
Yeah. And that was that part of that competitive point. Juices that, you get might as well like it. And that's a good lesson learned too, because we have kids, in the kind of that grip it and rip it. And there's a certain positivity to that.
Sure.
But also too, there's a little bit of calm rationale to it as well. Yeah. Because I think we see these people on TV like Valerie Allman, and if you watch videos, she looks like she's going 100 miles an hour fast as she possibly can, but she's repeated that movement hundreds
over and over again.
Times.
Yeah.
So.
And grip it. And
I get that.
Work when you're trying to be so technical. You can't.
That
technique when you think I need to throw it far. Sometimes that technique goes out the window.
Yeah. That's a conversation I have every day at Trinity. It seems like just stop trying to throw so hard.
Do you still throw with the kid? Do you get out there and throw?
No. I would probably hurt myself. I haven't thrown in a while. I'd probably hurt myself. I think I picked up the shot and I just kind of like tossed it a couple feet in front of me yesterday, and my wrist was hurting. I was like, I'm not doing that again. Yeah.
Gotcha. So what'd you get? You got your degree from UT, right?
Yep. In kinesiology. So exercise science. My father did strength and conditioning after college and has done owned a gym and done personal training his whole life. I was going to do that, and I did not. I ended up in customer service early on and kind of just worked my way down like a technical path and got into technical customer service. So I don't know how, but that was the idea, to be a strength coach at the time, at least.
Yeah. Now, Mad Dog, was he the strength conditioning of the football team while you were down there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For the first year, maybe 2 years, and then Benny Wiley, came on with Coach Charlie Strong.
Yeah, Charlie
Strong. He was head coach. I think his name is Coach Wiley. Yeah. I don't know. I really liked him. We lifted. I think at that time we were in the football weight room, like Moncrief?
Yeah.
We were in there with the football guys lifting, and then all of the Olympic sports got their own weight room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at UT. So for the last 3 years, we were in a different weight room completely than football.
Nice.
Yeah, it was decked out in a Sornex. It was an amazing weight room.
Wow. Isn't it downstairs?
It is.
Because I think it's the same one they still do currently.
Yeah. Should be. Okay. I don't think they've changed it, but downstairs. Yeah.
So do you talk to Mario any? Because he's back at A&M, I believe.
No, I have not. I haven't talked to him probably since I left. Maybe afterwards.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him. I haven't been to the relays either since I left. My dad was there last year, and I didn't have any throwers going to the meet this year, and I might have been out of the state or country.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I didn't go, but I plan on going this year. And if there's, a regionals or a nationals I think nationals is at UT this year, right?
Yeah.
If another meet is there, me and my dad plan on going. So maybe I can go see some people, my friends.
So let's get into the international throwing. How, you were 2-time national champion for Iceland. Mm-hmm. I'm sure because that's where your dad was raised and born and stuff like that. So did you kind of declare early for your citizenship to be Iceland and represent them?
I think it was probably freshman year of college. I went over there and they were like, hey, it was going to be easier for me to get to the meets overseas and not have to qualify through the US. And I was like, I can go get into those really competitive meets over there and get really good experience over the summer. So I got citizenship and started competing for them.
Wow. What
was that like?
Yeah. Because that's a whole different level.
It is.
Than going to Joshua relays.
Yeah, it's I think I did two, like I'd say really competitive the under 23 European Championship meets in Finland and in the Czech Republic, and I have never felt so small around people. And I grew up being like a big person. And in the Czech Republic, I remember walking in like the room to do the qualifying or whatever and standing around guys that were towering over me and just like really big and wide. And I was like, man, I need to gain weight. They were, I mean, they're guys that are still doing really well right now, or maybe not all of them, but I think in the Czech Republic, some good throwers, and then definitely in Finland, some of the good guys that are still throwing nowadays. And they're huge. I tell some people like at Trinity and stuff, we were talking maybe last year about those types of meets, about people that are throwing some of those distances. You don't realize how big they are. Same with like professional football players and stuff. You don't realize that the offensive linemen are so big until you see them and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big person.
Yeah. So did you have to go to Iceland and like qualify for like a national meet for them to kind of get into senior circuit for them?
I went over there like as soon as basically everything at UT ended, like let's say nationals. I was in Iceland like the following week or maybe 2 weeks and just started training they do like clubs in Iceland. So you do a bunch of club track meets and stuff. And my cousin was also still throwing at the time. So I trained with him every summer that I was there.
Oh, wow. Okay. Was he a discus thrower as well?
He was, but he primarily did shot put.
Okay.
He was good at discus. He has a better PR than me in the discus, but he like was more competitive in the shot put, got into more meets overseas with his shot put marks.
Yeah. What was that transition like from like having now a third person in your ear to kind of give you technical cues as well? Because sometimes you be overcoached.
Yeah, sure. So the coach I had in Iceland was like a discus specialist. So he I did shot put and hammer over there too internationally for them at like a couple of meets, but actually no shot put, but he was able to teach me some things in discus, and I would tell him, what we're working on in the States, and he'd be like, think about this, do this. So I think he had maybe a 62 or 3 meter PR on the disc. He knew a little bit more about the disc than like specifically the disc than the coaches at UT. So but I agree. Yeah. Lots of different people talking.
Yeah. And was that something that kind of maybe involves you're throwing more technically with that experience with him and stuff to really get away from the grip and rip it mentality?
Yeah. I guess I've never really attributed it to that, but probably, I was over there and it was really just me and my cousin and a couple of other guys were very close to me through like every day, maybe sometimes twice a day, and had that coach over there in the afternoons. And probably got a lot more of the technical mentality over there. I mean, I wasn't around guys, like at UT that everybody was throwing super far, and I was just trying to chase their marks too. So
yeah. Well, also too, it's a different training environment. I don't want to say it was almost being a college athlete. It was more like a real professional training environment.
That's definitely so. It was very much like that. I mean, I didn't have school, so it was wake up in the morning, go throw, go lift, eat lunch, go throw. So it was kind of just
a full-time job.
Exactly. Yeah. So pretty much just doing that.
I'm curious, did y'all break down the throw and do a lot of drill work and stuff, and out of the back, out of the sweep, in the entry? Did you talk about orbit?
Yeah, we did a lot of drills. I'd say significantly more drills than at UT. I think at UT I did just a lot of throwing, and like I just threw a lot. And sure, we did drills and stuff, but we spent a lot of time throwing. We had one of those little carts that you put all the discs in, and we would fill that thing up to the T, and even like another cart, and just throw as many as we could out there. Everybody would throw, and I don't know how many we did per day, but a lot of discus every day.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Cool. But yeah, a lot more technical drilling in Iceland with that coach.
Yeah. Well, do you remember his name?
Yeah, Eggert. It's Eggert.
Okay. How would you pronounce that?
Eggert.
Eggert? Okay.
Yeah. And then his last name is Burleson, Bogason.
Okay. Nice. So that had to be fulfilling because of your dad's accomplishment on a national level as well, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Representing your country.
Sure. Yeah. No, it was, again, the big deciding factor in it. It's definitely some, competing for my dad's country. That was great, but it was also, I knew I could get a lot more experience over there. I could throw over the summer with people that were just kind of starting their season. Not really, I guess, not just starting their season, but like they were going to go for the next couple of months, and I wanted to keep throwing and competing. So I would go over there and continue with that.
Well, okay, I'm going to have to ask this. So when you graduated,
mm-hmm.
Did you think about going back and like committing to doing this and say, okay, I'm all in for Olympics and,
Yeah. I spent a lot of time thinking about it, but I decided not to. I decided just to start working. I think my senior year wasn't a good year, like, by any stretch, and I became largely unmotivated to continue throwing and just decided not to. I sometimes think about that. I mean, I'm happy where I'm at right now, but yeah, I didn't ever really give it a great run, I don't think.
Did you battle injury your senior year?
Maybe some like left lat stuff, but no like significant injuries, no.
Okay. Got it.
I had a bad fouling problem. Like started like late in my senior year, just like couldn't stay in the ring, just looking at the disc, trying to see how far it was going and just stepping out. So bad habits.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Could never just kind of save it, huh?
No, and then I got to a point where I could save it, but I was jumping up and jumping back to stay in the ring. So I was losing all the power that I just generated, and then the disc wouldn't go anywhere. And I should have just non-reversed. I look back and I did a lot of non-reverse practice, and they would go just as far. And when I would get into the ring, I was like, no, I got to throw far, and I would try to jump at it in reverse, and just bad habits.
Yeah. Y'all's discus throwers, y'all are all the same.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, everybody's the exact same.
Like, I don't know if you've listened to a previous episode, but we had Ken Stadell on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was talking about that about
Rice, and he's still ranked all time.
Yeah.
And he said in the podcast that we started talking about technique. He's like, look, my technique was horrible. I just had the best finish ever. And if you watch him on YouTube, you're like, how did he throw? Then all of a sudden, when you see the finish, okay, 69 meters. All right.
That makes sense. Yeah. I watched a little bit of that episode and started looking him up immediately I was watching something on the computer, and him on my YouTube, like, dang, 69 meters. That's far.
Yeah. He was fun. We like interviewing those older people, just hearing stories of how you get recruited and not.
Yeah.
And how do you analyze? We're like, how did you analyze video? Well, we recorded 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, you could do it
on the 8 minute.
The real.
Yeah.
Then I could watch it, but I forgot what I threw to it.
Sure.
Wow.
Sure. So all right, now going to Burleson High School. First, let's start with your recruiting. Yeah. How did that senior year go to even commit to Texas in the first place, or did you look at other schools?
Yeah, there were some other schools, but I mean, my dad went to UT, and I grew up, kind of, it was always going to be UT if I could get there.
Okay.
I think I had Stephen F. Austin recruit me pretty heavily. My dad knew Coach Olson over there.
Yeah.
I think y'all interviewed him, right?
Yes.
Yeah. My daughter actually threw at Stephen F. Austin. Coach Olson. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Good guy.
So, yeah, I really liked Stephen F. Austin. I like that coaches, but it was always going to be UT. So.
Yeah. So just a little bit more about your dad. So your dad grew up in Iceland, came to UT as a thrower, international.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Coach and I forgive me if I mess this up. It's either Blackwood or Blackburn. I think it's Blackwood. Coach Blackwood went to UT or to Iceland to recruit another Icelandic thrower, a 21-meter guy.
Yeah.
He was just over the age limit to be able to throw. My dad was throwing, a little bit shorter than that guy, and they were like, "Hey, we'll take you instead." That's how the story goes. So my dad ended up at UT, not really on accident, but kind of on accident.
Oh, wow. Wow. Now, what's your dad's full name?
Oscar Jakobsson.
Oscar Jakobsson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. So you were a legacy to go to UT.
Yeah, that was always the deal. And when I got to UT, he still had the indoor shot put record. So I would walk by like the record, or you would see him on the record board at UT, and I was just like, I got to get my name up there somehow, but I don't know about the shot put.
So your dad competed 4 years at UT, and then was when he was an Olympian, or?
Yeah, he was an Olympian before he got to UT.
Oh, okay.
He was an Olympian in 76, 80, and 84.
Okay.
I think he got to UT in, forgive me, Dad, I don't know, but in 80.
So it was after his Olympic.
So
okay.
So your dad, so Dana LeDuc.
Yeah, he knows him.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dana. I think Dana just finished throwing and was the strength coach there.
That's right. My dad was one of like the first assistant strength coaches under Dana. So yeah, he knows him very well.
Yeah, I remember Dana bringing him up and all that type of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, you are like the fixture of UT.
Yeah, I know them all.
There's a connection you for everything.
Everything. Yeah, I saw y'all interviewed Robbie Robinson, and I was watching that interview. He talked about my dad, and I talked to my dad about that and told him he should listen to the podcast because I think Robbie was a junior when my dad came in, him and Kelly Brooks.
Yeah. That is so cool. So basically when you come in, so how did y'all wind up in Burleson?
Me and my twin sister, my mom was from Burleson, and my mom and dad met when he was a strength coach at UT, and she got pregnant, and me and my sister, my mom was from Burleson, so he moved up there. Actually, they lived in Austin for a little while because my little brother was born in Austin, but moved back to Burleson to start. My dad started his own gym in Burleson.
So he started a strength conditioning gym in Burleson?
Correct. Yeah. Burleson Athletic Club. Burleson Athletic Club.
They still have it?
No, they don't. They got out maybe a couple years into college. Him and my mom started doing just personal training at another kind of studio somewhere else, and now they do it out of their backyard in a barn.
In Burleson still?
In Burleson, yes, sir. Well, almost to Joshua, but in Burleson, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm going to have to get your dad's information. I'd like to go talk to him. And
I think he'd like that.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've heard or seen, but I've kind of turned this trailer into what we call a mobile lifting station.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I can open the side doors and bring out squat racks and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And, Janelle and I brainstorming about, buying property and doing a barn thing and doing strength and conditioning and stuff like that. So, I'd love to meet your dad and maybe hear some good old stories for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll get you his information, and y'all should definitely meet up. He is wanting to, after I got into coaching, he's kind of, it's digging up all the old memories for him too. And he's like, I want to share some stuff with people, but
we need to get him on.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, he'd be too shy. I think he's shyer than I am.
We should have y'all on together.
I
know. I wish we would have now. I know.
Zoomed him in from Burleson.
Yeah, for sure. So you moved to Burleson as a youth with your twin sister.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Burleson High School. Did your dad start you throwing, out of the womb? How did that first start?
Did you play other sports?
I played other sports. We started doing Olympic lifting out of the womb. I think, there's video of us very early on doing like snatches with like a broom handle.
Really?
Yeah. So very, very, and not very competitive Olympic lifting, but, we knew the movements ever since we were young, lifted when we were very young, and throwing very young. Yeah. definitely by the time we were in middle school, I'd already been throwing for a while. I was doing like I forget what it was called, but like the summer track for kids.
Yeah, the AAU Olympics and stuff.
It wouldn't. It was like Taft. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, the state meets, the Taft state meets,
the state
the little
stuff.
club meets.
Yeah, it was that. Before I got to middle school, and when I got to middle school, I guess we could have started throwing our 7th grade year. I was again tiny, like kind of tall, but taller for my age, but like super skinny. And the coach laughed at me when I told him I wanted to throw, and I had to say, "Can I show you? Can I throw?" I was super shy. I just said, let me throw the discus?" And I threw it, 20, 30 feet farther than anybody else. And he was like, "Okay, you can throw the discus," but they wanted me to run. They wouldn't even like entertain the idea that I could throw shot put. So my dad had to, after like a couple months of training, my dad had to email him and say he could throw shot put too. He's just too shy. And then, 10 feet further than anybody there. So I was just super shy. I've been throwing for a long time, super small. So
Daddy say, "Hey, by the way, I'm Olympian."
Yeah, my dad's an Olympian. I know how to throw.
Dad's Olympian. Look him up.
Was it football coaches who were also the track coaches and all that stuff as well?
Yeah. They just saw a skinny kid and they were like, "You can't throw," but they learned.
Yeah,
you showed them.
Yeah,
I think at 7th grade year I was like doing a lot of running too. And 8th grade year I told them I don't want to run anymore. I want to just throw. So they were okay with that. At that point.
Do you feel like Olympic lifting at that early age gave you, neurotransmission, CNS types development to mature early so you could understand the throw better, maybe at an earlier age?
Yeah, maybe so. My dad was always very technical with the Olympic lifting. So yeah, probably getting that body awareness down and those lifts probably contributed to that body awareness in the throw.
And
the reason didn't hurt it.
Yeah, definitely not.
There's debates. There's debates of, should you introduce lifting to your, youth, 7, 8, and 9-year-old, 10 years old that early? And should it be Olympic lifting? Is it going to stunt their growth hypothetically, or, something like that? I just kind of worried, did you feel like it benefited you?
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I've been lifting since I was very young and I don't think it stunted my growth.
Yeah.
So maybe unless I was supposed to be like 6'8" or 6'9", which if I maybe in a different timeline or something, but I'm okay with as tall as I am.
Yeah. So you get the Burleson your freshman year, and you have, you go to state a couple of years.
Yeah.
During your 4 years there, is there anything that stands out to you during that time?
Well, freshman year was another, I was just small. I was moving up to the 12-pound ball and the 1.6. So that took a little bit of trying to throw some weight on and trying to lift and get heavy. My sophomore year, I was injured. I didn't compete much of the sophomore season. And then junior year, I guess I think I got second at regionals to go to state. I wasn't expecting to go to state. I was just hoping to do good and ended up throwing a big PR in the discus. Yeah. And then senior year, fouling problems, didn't make it in the discus, PR'd in the shot, made it in the shot. So it was just frustrating.
Those fouling problems.
What I'm looking at your stats on athletic.net, dude. From your freshman year, you made some significant big jumps from that freshman year to your junior year. Huge marks.
Yeah.
So
I think I probably started putting on weight and lifting a lot heavier.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I had a friend that, my junior and senior year, we threw a lot together. We were out there all the time throwing. So it was nice to have a companion, a partner, somebody that wanted to be out there as much as I did.
Oh, wow. What was his name?
Clint Harris.
Clint Harris.
He threw at UT too. He went to Stephen F. Austin for a couple of years. I got him to transfer to UT, and I think maybe his first year there, he won Big 12s in the disc. So
really,
he wasn't bad either. I think he was. Maybe I feel like he was there at nationals no, maybe not. I don't know. He was a good discus thrower. He's a 58-meter discus thrower.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Now, I have to ask this, too, because Burleson High School has really good throwing area. 2 discus, 3 discus rings, 2 shot put rings.
Yeah.
Was all that, did you contribute to getting that stuff?
It was there before me. And I don't know if it's changed. Actually, I was there a couple years ago, and it's a little bit nicer now, but it was there when I was before I was there.
Yeah. So any pressure to play football at Burleson High?
I played. I was just, my mind was always on throwing, so I didn't want to do anything that was going to get me injured. And I was like plagued with injuries on the football side. I had like an AC separation of my shoulder one of the years, and sophomore year I was sick. Freshman year, I guess I didn't have any injuries, but in like middle school when I played, I had like some knee issues and other stuff. So I was always just worried that it was gonna, like, especially going into like my junior and senior year, that it was gonna mess up my shot at going to college for throwing.
Gotcha, for sure.
But they definitely wanted me to play. Did I like it?
Yeah, did you like it?
Oh yeah. I played defensive end. I loved it. Every minute of it. I think 8th grade year, after my 7th grade year of throwing, the coaches decided that I would be a quarterback. And I was like, you don't throw a football like you throw a discus. I'm sorry. I couldn't throw a football to save my life. And they were like, okay, get back on the defensive side.
What was your dad's kind of approach to American football, considering he never played and, growing up in Iceland?
Yeah, I don't think he preferred us to play. I mean, it was very much so just that's what everybody did. If you were an athletic young boy, you were playing football. We played soccer from a very early age, so never any pee-wee football. So I had to like beg to play football 7th and 8th grade year. And then 9th grade year, it was just kind of, we'll keep doing that.
Now, what about your twin sister? Did she throw or anything like that?
No, she never really wanted to. She threw a little bit, I guess, in high school or maybe middle school, and never wanted to train to throw or anything. She did a little bit of high jump. But yeah, she played volleyball. So that was kind of her deal, but not track. We were very much not really a siloed, and like at track was mine. She has her sport. My little brother had football. So
okay.
Kind of had our lanes.
Sure. What does your sister do now?
She's a doctor. Me and my dad were planning on going to nationals in Austin this past spring, and she was graduating med school, so we could not attend. We were both not really bummed that we couldn't go. We were kind of bummed, but we were also like, it's a good
thing. Did you have the ESPN app and was like,
I think I was like in the graduation ceremony, like looking at results and stuff, sharing them with my dad. But,
so what type of medicine is she practicing?
She's doing family practice. So I guess she graduated residency in the spring. So she is now, I guess I say a doctor, but she's like, I've been a doctor ever since I graduated med school. I'm like, well,
yeah. Is she in Burleson?
She's in Arizona.
Okay.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's awesome. And your younger brother's doing what?
He's doing something in Fort Worth. I need to catch up with him. I think he was working for a company out of Dallas, the people that have Bonnell's, maybe. Are y'all familiar with Bonnell's in Fort Worth? That's like a steakhouse. One of the chefs. I don't know the chef's name, but working for him doing something on his catering side. Nice. I don't remember. Something like that. He does a lot of like events and stuff. He's a very sociable person.
Nice.
He didn't get the shyness.
No, not like me. No.
Is there do you ever think about when you're talking to your dad, going back to some of those training days when you're 7th, 8th grade, and think about what he was teaching you and kind of how that maybe came full circle now as you a college throws coach?
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's a cue or a feeling or having a bad day or something.
Yeah, I think my dad was always big on like at the front of the ring, like turning the right leg really hard. And I think for a long time, I just tried to jump at the throw and never really engage the right leg. And he always told me from a very, very early age, your lower body is a lot stronger than your upper body. And I still use that today. I have only met one person that told me they can bench more than they can squat, which I was like, I don't know how you can do that. But I think that's a cue that I use a lot and try to get people to engage their lower body in the throw instead of just like try to shorten everything up and throw it as hard as they can with their upper body.
Yeah. That's a great point. And that's a very simple analogy because we fight kids all the time, shifting and just trying to upper body sling it, and never using their legs, and letting the hips release the shot put type approach and stuff. Yeah. And it's there's funny how there's always different cues that can relate to different people and different individuals.
Yeah, I feel like I throw like 1,000 cues at people like every day, and I'm like, which one's going to stick today on somebody? And then I try to use it on somebody else, it doesn't work, and I use something else that works on them. So yeah, it's funny how it works with some people and some people not.
I sense a real big passion for you in throwing. Do you ever think about maybe applying for a full-time job someplace at maybe a bigger D1 school or D2?
Probably not. I think the job that I have currently, I really, really enjoy, and I enjoy what I'm doing. So maybe in the future, if I ever get tired of cybersecurity, I don't think I will. I think the industry is growing so quickly.
Oh, yeah, it's not gone away.
Yeah, there's definitely more of a need for it now than there is.
Yeah.
For throws coach.
Yeah.
We'll run Zeb off and you can be the new throws coach.
No, I don't know, but he's done a really good job. I sent one of my Trinity guys is throwing jab there now. He's doing graduate school there.
Oh, really?
Just under UT, I don't think had any outside of like the decathletes, any like javelin specific people.
Yeah.
From what I'm aware of, and he was just under 60 meters, and I think he's got like no meat on him, so he can definitely put on some weight and graduate school and maybe get the javelin out there a little bit further.
Awesome. Good for him. Good for him.
We didn't ask this question, but like when you first started throwing, I know you said 7th and 8th grade, but with your dad being an Olympian, was that like something you knew your dad was an Olympian at a young age? I know you said you started lifting and you started doing that, but did it like, oh, my dad was an Olympian? And
were you aware?
Yeah, were you aware?
Oh, yeah.
At one point, they were like, yeah, we had no clue our mom was an Olympian until we got older, and we were like, you were a what? So
yeah, no, I definitely knew. I think I mean, I don't remember this, but I got told that when we were younger, my dad was still doing some, like, I don't know if it was, he was still competing, but not like, I guess at like an international level, just doing some throwing at some meets. I knew it, and there was stuff around the house, boxes of old medals from Iceland and stuff. And as kids, we'd look at that. What is this? And he was like, oh, yeah, I did this. And there was people, I mean, we hung around people and people talked about him being an Olympian, like some of old friends, Dana, some of the other guys he threw with at UT, they all knew. So
that's awesome. Now, was your grandfather or grandparents, were they, athletic as well?
No, my dad was, I mean, his whole side of the family is all, they're not small people, but, he was definitely like the athletic piece he's kind of stands out from his family. But my cousin is bigger than me and bigger than him, and he threw. So, we got throwers in the family, some bigger genes.
And that was the cousin that was in the 2012 London
Yeah,
Olympics.
Correct. Yeah.
Did you go watch that?
I did not. No. That was in London, right? No, I didn't go. No.
Yeah.
I've never been
throwing any?
He's not. He coaches us one of the clubs in Iceland, one of the like, I'm not going to say it's better, but one of the bigger clubs like that sits in the middle of Reykjavik. So a lot more people are there. And the guy, I don't know if my cousin is doing all of the throws. I don't know the situation over there. There's been a couple of very, promising throwers out of Iceland, and they might still be coaching my cousin. They've got a guy over there right now that is doing pretty well. It's made, I guess he qualified for one of the Olympics, or maybe he's competing well at the national level. So.
Yeah. And then Ernie Grodgerson, the rice thrower.
Yeah. She's doing good. She's young.
She's young, and she's the Icelandic record holder in the shot put.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Since she's been 16.
Yeah, I met her my first year at Trinity. We were in Houston, and she was throwing there. Because that's not a far drive for them, I guess. At the track, and I didn't know who she was. I just saw her last name, and I was like, she's Scandinavian, but she seems like she's Icelandic. So I went up to her and introduced myself and just asked her, are you from Iceland? And she said, yeah. And she knew my cousin because she competed at the club that my cousin was at. So
awesome.
She knew him, and we kind of connected on that. And then I talked to her coach, really great guy. I don't remember his name, but really great guy. And that was just kind of cool to see that. I think my dad went to the relays last year just to watch her. I don't know if he met her personally.
Oh, wow. You know, what's funny, I might even think that I've maybe even crossed paths with your dad, didn't even know it, because, you know, we've been to the relays, the state meet, all that type of stuff. I'm in Burleson pretty much all the time, so you just never know. So
yeah, I'll have to connect you. I'm sure he loves talking about throwing, loves it. So.
And weightlifting too.
Oh yeah, lots of lifting stuff. My dad is big on lifting.
I have to ask this too, and I should have asked it earlier. Have you talked to Ryan or Hayden lately? You know,
no, I have not. I was just talking to my little brother. Funny enough, speaks to Ryan, and my sister. I guess I think he's in Arkansas now.
Yeah, Little Rock.
But when he was in California, my sister was closer to him. Maybe they had met up. But my brother, I think, I'm off of social media. I've been off of social media for like a year and a half. So unless people text me or I don't see any updates on stuff. I go to family events and they're like, "Did you see this happen?" And I was like, "No, I don't know." So
all right. So how did you find out when he broke the world records the first time?
Oh, YouTube, probably. Okay. Definitely YouTube. You know, all of my YouTube is throws videos and stuff like that. So it was probably one of the very quick things, or I probably got during the season, I get more track alerts. So, or somebody in my family might, they might shoot me a text and say, I just saw on Instagram, Brian broke the world record or something. And I'll shoot them a text and just say, congrats.
Yeah. Did you, I have to ask this, did you feel like he was capable of what he's doing now when you saw him?
Oh yeah.
Early years.
Yeah, no doubt. I've never met anyone who worked so hard at something. He was he was so dedicated to everything, like the whole spiel. Eating was just right, weightlifting, lots of training, lots and lots and lots of reps of dry drills and lots of throwing. And I tell people that, now at Trinity, like, you don't understand the volume that they're putting in. I mean, he can afford to now because he's out of school, but like even in school, he wanted it really bad, and there was no doubt that he would go this far.
Yeah, for sure. And you see that in just his mentality of how he's just kind of pushing the envelope, and he kind of rejuvenated and motivated, kind of what's going on in the youth now in the country, where throwing shot and disc is popular now.
It's popular, yeah.
And maybe even when you were in high school, you were probably an oddity at Burleson because you were the only one that thought about throwing. Everybody else was thinking about fighting out lights.
That's true. Yeah, definitely odd. It's good to see that. I think we lose a lot of talent to football every year. I think the world record could be really far out there if we got some of the behemoths on the football side to learn technique at an early age, but we don't, and it would be interesting.
Well, dude, thank you so much, and I appreciate everything. And if there's anything we can do for you, let us know.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Pleasure speaking to you both. Y'all have a good rest of the evening.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, enjoy your evening. Man, we want to thank Blake for being on, for giving us a second chance after our electricity went out the last time. But we always say it's a great story, but it really is a great story. Great thrower, family of throwers.
Yeah.
And then feels like he wants to get back into it and coaching, just do some lessons, and boom, now he's coaching at college and reliving memories, and him and his dad are getting the opportunity to have those conversations. And just, he said some really good things about maturing. I think you asked him about his technique and how it took him a while to mature to where you focus on technique instead of just muscling it, and just a lot of good takeaways from things that he said. His kids at Trinity are
fortunate to have him.
Thank you, blessed too. I was going to say, to have him as a coach out there who's very passionate about what he's doing, and making the time to fit all them in to get better. That's awesome. For sure.
I just think the attributes of his father, and going from the Iceland and practicing with that coach, and just instilling him the love for throwing, because he said about even when he was in football, he was thinking about throwing, and that's just something that you kind of get instilled in you. All the throwers that we have, we just kind of almost come a little OCD with it, and definitely you can tell Blake is that kind of like, he loves throwing, and now he's full passion is giving back. And just what important figure in time to, you know, to be associated in around some of the great throwers, whether it was in the country of Iceland or around University of Texas, and being involved with some of those people and stuff. And even his father, who's an Olympian, and kind of following that legacy on at University of Texas had to be pretty cool and stuff. And I'm sure he's, you know, passing it forward at Trinity as well, for sure. So we thank Blake, and we look forward to seeing the results come out of his throwers.
Yep, and see him throwing some masters.
Yes.
We're going to challenge you. You're competitive. So.
Yes, yeah.
All right, we want to thank our sponsors for season 7, Texas Track and Field Coach Association, ttfca.org, for all the latest, greatest. Check out where everybody signed here this past week, and indoor meets, the winter clinic, all the information. If you love track in Texas, this needs to be the place you go to get all the information, because Stuart has it there and it's amazing. Fourthrows.com, use the code TalkingThrows10 to get 10% off when you're looking for some implements. If you're in the Austin area, we've just been talking about UT. In the Austin area, use Ready Up Athletic Development. Give Zach a call at 512-507-8347, or follow him on his Instagram. And then check out his basic throw strength program that he has on the Train Heroic website. You can use that code Throws10 to get 20% off. If you're up here in the Colleyville area, Big Frogs of Colleyville is our go-to people for our printing needs. If you're planning your track schedule, you probably already have it planned, but you want to free up some coaches to do some work, you need to look up ntxtiming.com. Get your computers out. ntxtiming.com. They provide all the services of seating, report generation, timing, live results. Let them do the work while you coach. They are committed to excellence and committed to, if you're waiting, you ain't waiting on them. Like we know at track meets, there's sometimes a lot of waiting on the results and the this and the that. You aren't going to be waiting on them at your meets. They're going to get it out there and get it run. So your coaches getting now got a spotlight.
Hello, Talking Throws Texas podcasters. I'm Bruce Caldwell. I'm here today to introduce the FiberSport Discus. Yes, many of you thought I only made great vaulting poles. I have been bringing quality discuses to the throwers' hands for over 40 years. First as Cantabrian USA representative, then for the past 10 years as the Nelco Discus distributor. I introduced the yellow-plated discus for the plastic's best durability. If your FiberSport discus breaks, we replace it. Our studies have reached into the science of using a wind tunnel and adding microchips to the discus to find the spin, the gravity, the flight stability of the discus. We have found it's not about rim weight anymore. It's more about creating a balanced stability to allow the discus to fly and surf the wind. Our new FiberSport discus is made to be selected to fit your needs, no matter the weather, no matter the conditions. Check out our discus selection guide at fibersportdiscus.com and find a dealer in your area that sells our fine product. Thank you, Jason and Janelle, for allowing me to talk with your listeners on Talk and Throws Texas Style.
Throwing Factory. I'm doing some youth lessons right now with my spotlight. Doing some youth lessons, kids want to get ahead of the game before their middle school meets start, or even their summer meets. If your child wants to be introduced into throwing some shot discus, reach out to us. Give me a call. We'd love to get them interested in there. I feel like I'm the eye doctor doing that. And then lifting DFW. Olympic lifting is huge. He just talked about that. Blake just talked about that.
It's okay to get them started early.
Yeah. I mean, like he even said they had a broom handle. It's not about the heavy weight in the Olympic lifting. It's about learning how to move your body those ways. And then the weight comes when the maturity comes and you get older. So it's not like we're going to bulk up a kid, but learning the flexibility and the movement at any age. You're out there kicking a soccer ball and doing all that. You may well, or playing football, you might as well get them to have understand how their body moves and prevent some injuries at a young age. That'd be cool to have some little kids out here. We got lots of PVC pipes you guys can throw around. Did I get out all?
That's it.
NTX timing. You really have to smell that out of your face. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
You said bye like that was a microphone.